Nobody does it, Bennett. Yes, I've gone and said it. Movies and games, some things that are lame. Nobody does it, Bennett. Worst to the worst, right on. Is this the worst thing that I've ever seen? Worst to the worst, oh yeah. I feel so dirty that I'll never be clean. Worst of the worst.
Hello, and welcome to Nobody Does It Bennett, Worst of the Worst. I am your host, The Greg Bennett Experience, and tonight I'm joined by Matt as we review the movie Escape from LA.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Matt.
Snake.
The name's Pliskin.
The name's Snake.
Notice that during the movie, he's like, if he wants them to be friendly towards him, he's like, call me Snake. And then when he's like, at the end, when they're angry at him, he's like, call me Pliskin. Does the same in Escape from New York. What we're going to do in this one is go through the movie Escape from LA. We will point out the good parts and most definitely the bad. We will then give our ratings and see if Escape from LA is truly the worst of the worst. Matt, have you seen both Escape from New York and Escape from LA? And if you have, what are your thoughts?
I have, but in my mind, per se, I decided to watch the second one thinking, I'll just watch it out of a fresh perspective. And now I'm thinking I probably shouldn't have done that.
So you haven't watched New York in a while?
No, probably, I think I was 19. Whoa. Almost 10 years.
So it was like 2 years ago now.
yeah, almost 2 years ago. Back when I was in high school.
Yeah, for me, I watched Escape from New York directly before watching this one. For me, like, I had to watch Escape from New York to remind myself just why this is so weirdly different from the original source material. Like, New York is very much a very contained story about a man that's, to get out of prison, has to go and save the president from New York City, which sounds kind of bombastic. But when you compare it to the man who did this is now having to go into another prison while the world is ending to stop a leader who's now in this prison from destroying the world, while the president is now told people that undesirables that they have to go out of the country, while also getting poisoned, while also having to like use these bombastic devices. It's what is going on?
While his daughter is somehow in the mix. Very, very not enthusiastic about her role either. She's like,
Yeah, her name, Utopia.
Yeah, keeps flipping and flopping on what she wants.
Right, so Escape from New York is an iconic piece of film history, which makes Escape from LA even more baffling. Same director in John Carpenter and main star Kurt Russell. Both movies are the same, but are also so widely different. That's what the weird thing is. They're the same, but they're not.
Yeah.
That's how you explain these.
Kurt Russell.
Have you seen any other John Carpenter films, Matt?
I don't think I have.
Have you seen Halloween?
No.
The Christine with the car.
Oh, the car. Yeah. Yes, I have. Did he do Christine?
He did Christine.
I loved that movie. I thought that was absolutely psychotic.
It's probably my favourite John Carpenter film.
Yeah, and it almost changes the driver too in the car. It almost like takes over. And that's just the silhouette of the person in the car.
My dad loves it too because he has a younger sister called Christine. Killer car. He also did They Live with Roddy Piper.
I haven't seen that.
I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. And of course, he's done Escape from LA. He's done other films as well. He did The Fog.
Oh, yeah.
I think Prince of Darkness.
Oh.
As well. He did an Elvis biopic with Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell and John Carpenter have teamed up a few times. So I've seen Halloween, I've seen the Escape movies, I've seen Christine and They Live, but still other ones I've got to see. John Carpenter is a legend in the film industry, having made some of the most genre-defining films in history. Because when Halloween came out, it's the first teen slasher film, and he actually is the one that wrote it, recorded the music for it. He did the music as well.
Is that the one with Mike Myers?
That's Michael Myers.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes, I have seen that. I watched all the way back when they actually modelled the mask off James Kirk, which I absolutely loved to bits. And all they did was kind of just took off his eyebrows, cut the mouth open, cut the eyes, and it's like, here you go. Mike Myers.
Yeah, made Jamie Lee Curtis a household name.
Oh, true. Was that Halloween? I get them and Friday the 13th mixed up all the time.
Yeah, Friday
Jason
the 13th came out about a
Voorhees?
year after Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
But Halloween was the first teen slasher.
That would have been freaky in cinemas. You wouldn't want to leave your house.
Not in those days. So what do you think of Kurt Russell films, Matt? Do you have any favourite Kurt Russell movies or performances?
This will sound stupid, but my favourite Kurt Russell performance is a rip-off of him in South Park, where he goes through a Stargate portal and meets woodland creatures, and they take advantage of him.
Imagination Land.
Yeah.
I love, actually, Kurt Russell in Stargate's my favourite performance.
Yeah, it's bloody good.
I love him as Jack O'Neill. Of course, he's also in Big Trouble in Little China, Tango and Cash.
Oh, he is too.
Yeah.
Oh, Kurt Russell, you have been in some classics.
He played a Living Planet, Ego the Living Planet, and Guardians Volume 2.
He did too. He was the bloody father. How am I only just knowing this now? Of course he was. Oh, him and Quill had a huge fight.
Yep.
Oh, what was wrong with me?
Really made me sad when I had to put that tumour in her head.
That, yeah, that bit, yeah, oh, that's right, it really made me sad.
So Kurt Russell's, he's been around for some time. He was actually originally a Disney child star. So he's in a lot of Disney films back in the 60s, maybe 70s. I don't know how old he is. He's pretty old.
He'd be male,
He's older than 21.
yeah, I'd say 10 years ago, maybe 19? No. He's 70.
70. Oh,
It's 17th of March, 1951.
he looks good for 70.
I got this picture of him here with his...
Oh, that Mo. Oh, it's that bone tomahawk Mo.
Is he still married to... Yep, Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, they've been together. Are they married? I think they've just been together for so long.
Yeah, I think they're just
Yeah,
together.
they haven't really had a marriage as such. Of course, his stepchild by marriage is Kate Hudson. Well, I guess not by marriage because they're never married. So Kurt Russell's pretty much been her dad for
Baby daddy.
pretty much the whole entire life, but he wasn't technically her dad. Right, so I've got some information here about box office and budgets and stuff and Rotten Tomatoes. Matt, shall we go through some?
Definitely keen.
So I've got Escape from New York here first, which was released in July 1981. Had an estimated budget of $6 million US dollars, which in 81 was, I guess, a fair bit of chunk of change, but not huge. Comes to the equivalent of about 10.3 million in 1996.
Oh, that's still quite a bit of money back then.
No, 10.3. And you look at Escape from LA, that's why I'm making it 996, because Escape from LA released in 996. So giving you the inflated kind of what it would be compared to Escape from LA. The box office for Escape from New York turned out to be $25.2 million off a $6 million budget. So more than tripled it. That's an estimated $43.5 million for 1996.
Yeah, it would be too. Far out.
The Rotten Tomato scores, critics gave it 86% and the audience 77%. So it was high.
Oh, wow.
It feels like a sort of movie that's a cult classic, but it's not. It did well, even when it came out.
Yeah.
It did really well, but it just feels like cult classic for some reason. Escape from LA. It released in August 1996 with an estimated budget, this is in 1996 terms as well, of course, of $50 million. So compared to $10 million that the estimated budget of Escape from New York would be at 1996 or in 1996, it had an estimated budget of $50 million.
Do you reckon that was from all their amazing graphics and all the...
I think they, because it's John Carpenter and Kurt Russell making another film, they're like, just give them a huge budget.
Just throw money at them. It's like the Transformers, Michael Bay. Just more explosions.
They know what they're doing. They're not going to make a 90s version of Escape from New York and just bombastically have crazy CGI that we can't do quite yet in the film.
That helicopter was great. The submarine was cool.
Oh, the shark that attacks the
Oh
submarine.
my god, as it's going past the Universal Studios.
I was like, is it an effect from the Universal Studios? Because it looks like it is.
Yeah, I had to go back to that because it's sitting there and then all of a sudden it just whips itself backwards and goes for a second and then he's going, Universal Studios.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's like, I don't know if it's supposed to be a real shark or not. I don't know, it looks pretty bad.
You're overloading the tanks.
So with their $50 million budget, how much did they make, you say? They made a box office total of $25.5 million. So you're looking at Escape from New York that made, with 1996 terms, $43.5 million. This only made 25.5, so not even half the budget.
So in 16 years, they basically brought out the same movie.
Brought out the same movie and had 5 times the budget and made half of what the first one made.
Wow.
The Rotten Tomatoes scores for Escape from LA, the critics say it's 53%, and the audience say 39%.
Ooh.
So yeah, Escape from LA. No wait,
39 from what was it? 80. What was Escape from New York? 81 audience.
86 critics, 77 audience. So very fresh.
That's so much higher.
Yeah, it's Escape from LA is definitely not Escape from New York, even though it wants to be.
It's still Kurt Russell.
If you like what you hear and would like to send us your thoughts, why not contact us? You can by visiting our Nobody Does It Bennett Facebook page, or by hitting us up on the Twitter at NobodyDIBennett. That's NobodyDIBennett on Twitter, or you can email us by going to nobodydoesitbennett@outlook.com. That's Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's. Nobody Does It Bennett is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and other podcast networks. Right, Matt, let's go through the movie, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, Escape from LA.
Nobody Does It Bennett. Worst of the worst.
Movie starts with intense movie critics with the classic Escape from New York theme amped up into a 90s action style.
It takes so long. 2 minutes, 41 seconds. And those green graphics that are just going on the screen, to me, are just going, is that meant to be Flash? Like, it would have been Flash at the time, I get that.
Yeah.
But me watching it was like, this is 2 minutes 40, I'm never getting back.
It's also like, it saw Terminator, and was like, let's just do what Terminator did with the credits.
Well, they kind of did, didn't they? Yeah. Oh, that was cheap.
1998 shows up, so this is in the future. 1998. And it has a female narrator. It says, in the late 20th century, hostile forces inside the United States grow strong. The city of Los Angeles is ravaged by crime and immorality. Not immortality, immorality.
Yeah, immorality.
To protect and defend its citizens, the United States police force is formed. A presidential candidate predicts a millennium earthquake will destroy LA in divine retribution.
Predicts. We're going to build a wall, and they're going to pay for it.
It's early Trump, isn't it? It
Yep.
feels very early Trump. The presidential candidate has the following to say. Now, just to let you know that the presidential candidate in this is played by the late, great Cliff Robertson, otherwise known as Uncle Ben from Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man films. So most of this movie, I call him President Uncle Ben.
He basically is.
But an evil version of Uncle
And he looks
Ben.
exactly the same too, which kind of weirds me out a little bit. It's like he hasn't even aged, and then he just puts on 5-10 kilos and dies in front of Peter.
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter. And he's like the majority fist of God, Armageddon will descend upon the city of Los Angeles, the city of sin, the city of Gomorrah, the city of Sodom, and waters will arise and separate the sinful city from our country.
And remember, it's the future of 1998, which is why they're using basically Vietnam-style M16s, which are very old. But it's the future, so that's the reason why Kurt Russell only gets a future gun. Nobody else.
But I love how this whole thing goes because it feels very Command and Conquer.
It is, isn't it?
Like just those little quick, like this give you a narration so you can get into the video game, but really badly like overacted.
Yeah, it's like telling you all the forces that you can play against as you play in the missions, the bad protagonist, why this person's done that, start game.
Yeah, and also has like all the models of like a late 90s kind of like video game where it tells you the city of Los Angeles, like with the narrator. And it has like all these really bad graphics.
Yeah, it is.
Female narrator continues. An earthquake measuring 9.6 on the Richter scale hits at 12:59 p.m. August 23rd in the year 2000. You see the massive traffic car pile-ups and buildings crumbling.
The best thing I saw of this was the toothpick that was in the background of the bridge that snapped, and then the whole bridge collapsed on top of itself. I was like, perfect.
That's how that works.
I love that. Yeah, they would have done small-scale modelling and just zoomed right into it. I love that. That's what I loved about Thunderbirds and all that. They do make tiny little paper mache-like buildings and just put little firecrackers as explosions.
But it makes you wonder why they didn't do that with the rest of the effects. Why did they use computer when they could just use miniatures?
Like that building, when the windows crack out of it and it starts like cracking to bits, and I'm going, oh my god.
Yeah, very like again, bring up Terminator 2 with all the like the buildings and stuff when she's like on the cage watching the apocalypse happen, Judgment Day.
Oh, true, it is too. There's a lot like that in this movie.
A tidal wave starts to come in from the ocean, and then it goes back to the female narrator again. After the devastation, the Constitution is amended and the newly elected president, Uncle Ben, accepts a lifetime term of office. The country's capital is relocated from Washington, D.C. to the president's hometown of Lynchburg, Virginia.
I love that. And he's got now, because that's happened, he has an all-time lifetime presidency. There you go.
You predicted an earthquake that happened. We're not going to suspect you may have had something to do with it. In fact, we're just going to think that you're some sort of like messiah.
God, yeah, give you all the power.
You know what you're talking about. Let's just have you have a lifetime presidency.
Literally. It's like that guy back in, if you heard about it, 1893, he was in the Wild West. They hired him to make it rain. It rained for like 40 solid weeks, and then they blamed him for too much rain. And then they tried to sue him, and by that time he'd already left and taken all their money. Like,
Did he make it rain for 40 days?
he didn't make it rain, but it rained for 40 days.
It's almost like, did he have like a hose and it was just like
Yeah, they were in like a drought for like 20-something years or something, and this guy pops out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden it starts raining coincidentally, and they're like, oh my God. And then they're like, hey, it won't stop raining.
Wow, we must have done some rain dances. Los Angeles Island, it's an island now after the earthquake, so Los Angeles Island is declared no longer part of the United States and becomes the deportation point for all people found undesirable or unfit to live in the new moral America.
City of Angels.
The United States police force, like an army, is encamped along the shoreline, making any escape from LA impossible.
They are right. They didn't even come up with a clever name for them. They literally just called them the United States Police Force.
It's just so lame, isn't it? Lame. From the southeastern hills of Orange County to the northwestern shore of Malibu, the Great Wall excludes LA from the mainland. The president's first act as permanent commander-in-chief is Directive 17.
Permanent Commander-in-Chief. Thank God. Good gracious.
Once an American loses his or her citizenship, they are deported to this island of the damned, and they never come back.
You never find out what they have to do in the good world until the very end.
No.
When he's explaining, I'm not going to say it now, but he's explaining things to him, and I'm like, wow, screw that.
All these rules, like, it's not really a place you want to live. You got no freedoms.
It's not being a criminal that's going to get you sent to this island. It's literally just being yourself or doing what you want in a way.
Also, like Snake, when he gets arrested in this, he got done for like a dozen moral crimes, not for crimes.
Yeah, see, that's weird.
Moral crimes.
He probably looked at someone and went,
Probably smoked a cigarette and like, arrest that man.
yeah, arrest that man. He has a snake on his chest.
So this sounds a little too real after Trump, Matt. So you're right, you mentioned it before. Some of this does sound like a bit like what Trump was doing. I'm not going to go too much in politics, but it's uncanny that he had similar views as President Uncle Ben.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben and Donald Trump.
Better. The 90s computer graphics blended with the narration and opening dose of exposition feels like a 90s video game like Command & Conquer.
It is. It's like Red Alert.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it now, like, yeah, the way they've set it up and everything, and telling you the different factions and everything. Yeah, I like that.
And when the narration finishes there, like, they never come back. It feels like it's going to fade to a loading screen.
Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah. At the bottom is just a wee reticule that's loading.
But instead it fades to black and says 2013. Now.
Terrifying, the future, guys.
It cuts to the LA exterior guards preparing for something. LA, Friday, 1900 hours. Some helicopters fly over the remains of the San Fernando Valley Mall. The signage on the mall looks really bad, like it was typed on via Microsoft Word after the shot was taken.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like Microsoft Word font.
It's like they've almost taken a piece of paper, drawn a real nice background on it,
Yeah.
and then just like slid that in beside some real buildings, and then just mixed it all together.
It's like you forgot to put a name on the mall. Let's type it in via Word. No one will notice.
Oh, this money and effort was spent on these graphics in 2013.
Exterior prison post looks very similar to the location in Escape from New York. So very much the same outpost as Escape from New York.
There's detention centres. What do they say? Deportation is just what they have on the wall written and inscribed deportation.
Yeah, it's just cold and menacing and somewhere you don't want to be. The arrival of the most notorious outlaw in United States history is taking place at Firebase 7, the deportation center for Los Angeles Island. War hero, criminal, the force's most wanted man, convicted of 27 moral crimes. He was arrested 2 weeks ago on a charge of gunfighting for profit in New Vegas. So that's the Fallout version. He's in New Vegas.
Yeah, he's in New Vegas. Cool.
It's all connected. But it says here, in New Vegas, Thailand, US territory. Where is New Vegas and Thailand?
US territory. Has US just, this is mine,
They're just taking. I think they're starting to take over the world because that's probably why Cuba and stuff are trying to fight back.
Oh, true. Cuba and Mexico. Yeah, yeah, it would be too.
Trying to take over the countries, probably. So who was this wanted man convicted of 27 moral crimes? His name is Snake Plissken.
Plissken. Snake.
Snake Plissken. He doesn't die. He doesn't know how to die.
Yeah, that bit. Yeah. He's gone dark. That doesn't mean he's dead.
We should give up and just start throwing nukes at them. No. He's dead, but he's not really dead because he's Snake Plissken.
There he is on a treadmill.
Yes, he's just walking. He's in the background in that shot, just staring at us. Hello.
And then next scene is the president sitting there. Uncle Ben's just like, where is Plissken? Has anyone seen him? And he's just getting stressed out. It's like, do you hate your daughter that much? Oh my God.
Oh, he does. It's been 16 years since his famous rescue in New York, apparently, since Snake Plissken did that New York thing. You know, that thing, that movie that, you know, was much better? It's been 16 years, which, and this, it's actually been about the same time. It's been about 15 years.
Yeah, I was about to say in real life it was
81, 96.
15, 16 years. Yeah, it was too. That's quite cool. Wonder if he did it on purpose.
I'd say
and
so.
then kind of, yeah, pulled it all in.
I think John Carpenter's smart enough to realise that's probably what's happened here. Stacy Keach's character of Commander Malloy has the 90s bad guy look going. Heavy 5 o'clock shadow beard with a tied back ponytail. That screams just 90s bad guy.
It is though, yeah. That's like, you could throw him right into the back scene of a Die Hard movie. You wouldn't know the difference.
Pretty sure Kindergarten Cop, bad guy in that, has a ponytail. Not all 90s movies had those, but it's, you see that, you don't really see the tied back ponytail unless they're an 80s or 90s bad guy role, like Karate Kid 3. The guy who just come back in Cobra Kai Season 4, got his hair tied back. Mind you, Cobra Kai Season 4, I'm loving it so far. Keep watching it.
Oh, yeah, he is too.
But yeah, it seems like the police force are going to use their recently acquired prisoner, Snake, to their own advantage. Wait, haven't we already seen this film? It was called Escape from New York. Snake has moved into the police outpost from the back of a truck. The guards tell Snake to look at the large crowds that are getting sent to deportation to LA for immoral crimes. See these guys, Snake? They could be you.
But they're not, because you're here with us.
And he's kind of like, always looking like, I don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He just looks at them kind of just like he smells something rotten. Like,
yeah, he does. He has that really unimpressed look on his face, like all the time. As the main guard puts it, we're throwing out the trash. It's like, oh, okay, jeez. Couldn't be more bad guys, could they? In case you thought the police might be the good guys in this, they make sure they ram it in their throats. They're not the good guys, they're the bad guys. Plissken doesn't have much to say to the news cameras. I guess this is to show that there's unmanned cameras that the police possess, which never come back. I put this thinking that maybe there's going to be like a camera that's going to follow him around LA because it's unmanned and they could probably just float around. But no. Yeah, but they have that here to show that they could do that.
yeah, true. There's no drones, no nothing. 2013.
It would make sense to have something that tracked his chip in
Yeah,
them,
they fully could.
because then they could always keep an eye on him.
And they've got like virtual reality and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, then he gets shot with a net and then it turns off.
That net gun was hilarious.
I was like, come on. He's like, oh no.
Not a net gun. Oh, it was hilarious. It's like something out of G.I. Joe.
You would see the guy walking beside you anyway. You're staring at the guy like that, peripheral. Oh no, he did have a lot of hair though.
It's like, oh my god, it's amazing. A Snake is ushered through the barracks. He is scratched on the hand by a Terminator-looking lady in a police uniform. She's like very like serious, walking like a Terminator.
He scratched his hand with that ring thing.
Yeah, as she walks past him. Like in the first movie, people are offered the execution option if they wish not to go into LA. This time, though, they actually show you people being executed via electric chairs, which comes back later.
Yeah, that was creepy.
I do like that, like in these movies, like, if you don't want to go locked up, can kill you right now.
Yeah, there's chairs right here in this waiting hall.
You got an option. You don't have to go into this place. You can die. Snake is then locked into a room. He finds a wrist device and a finger scanner on the table. Snake grabs the wrist device and scans his finger in the scanner. Then Commander Malloy comes into the room. A small CD is inserted into a calculator-looking device. Man, this device screams 90s future tech. Everything's small CDs or microchips.
Tiny little CD that doesn't even fit in properly in the wee case. It's kind of like slotted in on the side.
Reminds you of mini discs when they came out in the early 2000s. My God. This device projects a video. It shows the president's daughter, Utopia, acquiring the device, then using it to hijack Air Force 3. Without the device and a fully automatic assault rifle. Utopia demands her father to step down as president. She threatens to use the device, that is in a small suitcase on the United States unless the president releases all wrongfully convicted people and let them return to their homes. The president's daughter then used Air Force 3's escape pod to escape into LA. This is like an escape from New York. You see there's escape pods in the Air Force Ones. This just shows you again they still have escape pods. This movie's plot is just bonkers. The police force send in a 5-man team to extract her, but within an hour, all but one man was killed. You see him later on when Snake Plissken's walking around looking for him.
And they're playing darts.
Oh, throwing knives at him. It's like, ugh.
Now turn around when I'm talking to you.
Reminds me of Arkham Asylum when you're trying to track this guy Bowles, who's actually screwed over Commissioner Gordon. And you got to track him, and when you find him, he's hung up dead saying, you can't track me anymore.
That's creepy.
It was kind of creepy too, seeing as there's a body getting knives thrown at him. But apparently Utopia's twin sister was killed, so she escaped in a virtual reality world where she met a man called Quavo Jones. He's a Peruvian terrorist. Member of the Shining Path, he apparently runs the Mescalito Justice, the biggest, baddest gang in LA. Jones used Utopia to steal the black box, which is the MacGuffin for the whole film. The black box is a matter of national security. Top secret, strictly a need to know. President Uncle Ben promises Snake a pardon from his moral crimes if he retrieves the black box. Uncle Ben doesn't care much about his daughter, just wants the black box.
Couldn't care any less. Even right in front of her at the end, just he shows his true colours.
He's like, I don't care about you. You've let me down. Now you die.
Because he wanted a son, and that's why he was so close with Peter.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, I made some mistakes, like I destroyed the world and stuff. Maybe I can just be a bit easier on Peter. Remember, Peter, with great power comes great responsibility. I failed.
That's when he sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
And then Peter became Spider-Man.
Later on, escaped from Philadelphia. He's going to be the president.
Escape from No Way Home.
Snake doesn't have any option, really. He's going to do what they tell him to do. They have infected him with the Plutotoxin 7 virus. Genetically engineered 100% pure death.
Yeah, basically it'll just be plutonium turned into a toxin.
Creates a complete nervous system shutdown. You crash. You bleed out like a stuck pig. It's not a pretty sight.
What happened with the other 6? Do they not work?
It sounds cooler if you have 7 in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Snake now has less than 10 hours to live. Of course, there is an antidote, and it neuralizes the virus immediately upon ejection. Movie antidotes.
Yeah, isn't it good?
It works straight away.
Ha ha!
Once the mission is completed, President Uncle Ben will authorize the antidote for Snake. Snake jumps at President Uncle Ben, but they are merely holograms. See, this is the setup later on.
Yeah, that bit kind of annoyed me.
But it's good. It's a payoff when it happens later on when Snake does the same thing.
And they have no idea. They're like, oh, he's dumb. I told you he would figure it out. And then it's like, well, he did.
Then President Uncle Ben says, the man is too dumb to survive LA. I love how they say that they're holograms, but they are right next door. Couldn't they do it from like a bunker far away where Snake could never find them, but they're right next door in the next room?
That's what I thought. And they're standing there like kind of like, ha, 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 ha. It's like if he just turned and looked through the glass like this, he'd see the reflections of them and be like, oh.
What's the point of doing holograms right next door?
I want to know how they opened the door.
Then they got Snake saying, you better hope I don't make it back. All of you. Kurt Russell's just having fun.
What he says also comes back at the end. Because they're all like, oh, we kind of wish he didn't come back. He's like, beep.
He's like a war hero and he seems to escape things that he shouldn't be able to escape from. We're going to use him, though, and he won't do anything about it.
He had 2 purple hearts, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
And he escaped from New York.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been living in New Vegas for however long.
Yeah.
He blew up Megaton and the old Fallout,
But there was that Cleveland job that went wrong. Yeah, in Cleveland, but we'll talk about that later. Snake is given weapons and gadgets. They blah, blah, blah about them, but let's just move on.
Yeah, they have a short gun that can't shoot very far, but they have a humongous 24 times scope on the top of it because that'll help with the accuracy when you can't shoot long enough with a short barrel. Anyway.
Everything needed to be scoped back then, even pistols.
Massive scopes. I'm going to throw this can in there when it drops.
Snake gets given fancy pinstripe suit armor. Some weird Western country music plays as he gets dressed and hummed up.
I did actually like his outfit change. And then when he walked out the door and like flicked his coat back over his gun, he's like,
It's cool. But the clothes make Snake look like a space pirate.
he does a bit.
The eye patch as well.
They shouldn't have V'd the top, like that typical big shoulders and then go.
It's almost Matrix-like before Matrix.
Yeah.
Because this was, about 3 years before the Matrix came out. This feels like so much older than the Matrix. But this is only 3 years before the Matrix came out.
Yeah, with his big leather coat.
Yeah.
There's another movie where someone takes the protagonist's leather coat too, and then he gets it back at the end.
It sounds like something Punisher would be pissed off about.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It is funny that the guy takes this coat.
Yeah. And survives the whole way.
But how did he lose this coat in the first place? You never see. He just doesn't have it after a while. Does he take it off because he get hot? I don't know. He doesn't seem to care much about it.
Wait, yeah, he's wearing it on the bike.
Yeah.
And then they throw the chain over him, and then all of a sudden the other guy's wearing it when he's off.
I'm pretty sure he's still wearing it when he has the showdown with those guys.
No, he's not.
He's not?
Yeah, where did it go before then? Oh, that's right. I'm going to throw the can in the air.
All right, let's make a third movie about the coat.
Yeah, and it's like Doctor Strange, but the coat is sentient.
Who would the coat be voiced by?
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo is the coat. Yeah. Snake Plissken's
Hey
coat.
guys, just kind of comes in, starts getting angry, and it gets bigger.
Escape from LA 2.5. Snake is reminded about how the country is on the edge of war. The Shining Path's goal is to take back North America. Apparently, the Shining Path have been united third world countries. The Cubans and Brazilians are poised to invade Miami. A different group of Ugandans and Colombians make a run at the border as well. We've got a full-scale attack on the United States. What the hell are you talking about, plot? Go home. You're drunk.
I don't know where they come up with it, and they're just like, hey, wait a minute, we'll add this in. Yeah. And the writer's like, all right, go take it down to them shooting it now. Go.
It's like in the Escape from New York, it's like, Escape from New York wasn't world-ending or world-shaping enough. How can we make a movie where if Snake Plissken doesn't do what he needs to do, the world is going to end?
But he does what he does anyway, and the world still ends.
By choice, though, isn't it?
Yeah, by choice, which
By
is...
choice. But will this happen? We'll find out at the end of the show.
Yeah, I mean, my bad.
That's cool. If you haven't seen it already, then what are you doing listening to this podcast?
Everyone will retracted.
There'll be the one person out there going, I'm actually watching this just as you talk about it. So then for any more information from further down, I'm going to be spoiled.
Yeah, he's watching that exact scene.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there shaking his head, eating his muffin like...
God damn it. I know the ending. Ah.
Throws his muffin on the floor, spills hot coffee on his leg and goes, damn it.
Pliskin! Snake is going in under the San Fernando Sea. Shark 3 submarine. One-man submersible. Just like the turbine model, only this one's nuclear powered. Why?
Why couldn't it just go across the surface?
Why does it have to be a submarine?
That's what I thought. Why does he have to do all these other... He's overloading it. Don't make that an option. It's a nuclear sub, but that's a very bad option to overload it.
Thinking maybe the ocean on the top might be mined. So maybe he has to go underneath the mines.
True.
Otherwise they might swim out.
There's heaps of crap everywhere too.
Yeah, because no one really seems to have boats in Escape from LA.
No, there's just the surfers.
Yeah, there's a ship that's been obviously dry docked for years, but there's, no ships.
No, there's not.
Because it'd been great to have like an LA pirate crew that's going around the seven seas.
Yeah, that would be cool. They're just pillaging people for red meat because they can't eat it in the New World.
Yeah, and Tim Curry was the captain.
Tim Curry, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Hello!
looks like I've got some people here to see me. The police have someone on the inside that Snake needs to meet up with, but he's not to leave LA. Once Snake's in LA, he's on his own. I guess another person he's supposed to meet up is the guy that's dead in there.
Oh, it must be too.
Must be the guy.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it must be. I was just thinking that. I was just like, was it Steve Bishop? No.
Must have been the guy that was dead.
They didn't. There was no real backstory to that. It was just like, he's dead. Bite.
Yeah. Oh, he's dead. So I'll carry on by myself. Keep walking around with like a dumbfounded look on my face. Like every second scene is just him walking down another street.
Looking slightly more pissed off than he was before, going, where is that smell?
Yeah, but then the flu starts to kick in, so a few times he'll be like...
Yeah, I love that. I love how he started coughing and he's like, oh no. And it's just literally, he's just making it worse because he's running around shooting people.
Malloy tells Pliskin to eliminate Utopia. Government doesn't need to waste time and money on nonsense things like trials for high treason. But the way he tells it, you think maybe the president doesn't know.
That's what I thought at the start. I was like,
Because he's telling them, like, when he's going into the submarine, like, don't tell anyone, but I want you to kill Utopia, right?
Yeah, by the way,
Could you just kill her? Yeah.
I got paid out for this.
What happened to you, President Uncle Ben? With great power comes great responsibility to let your daughter die.
You. Oh, Ben.
Snake tries to shoot Malloy. They thought Snake might try that, so they loaded the first clip with blanks. Seriously? It's like such a child thing, like, you thought you shot me, but I was wearing bulletproof protection from that.
That's what gets me, is they're just like, oh, we filled the first one with blanks. He would check that.
You think you'd know?
He would have known.
Yeah.
Surely.
The fact that they think, oh, he was going to shoot me anyway, it's like, yeah, but he's dying from this disease. He knows shooting you would mean he dies.
Yeah, literally.
So why would you think that he would do that? I guess it's to make you think that Malloy knows how he thinks, because later on he believes he knows how Snake thinks.
Doesn't he? And that's how he gets in his head the whole time.
Yeah, so
true. He could have just been playing him.
It's a setup. No, think about it more.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there were blanks in there. And then he's just thinking, yeah, I know, you dick.
You think you know me.
Yeah.
Snake gets in the Shark 3 submarine. Actually looks kind of cool. Weird that Snake has to lean forward with its legs out to drive through, though. Like an 80s teen girl on her bed while being on the phone.
And also 15 years he knows exactly how it works and how to get in it.
Yeah.
Without being told anything by anyone. And then the only thing he has to tell him is put it to 75% power. And he's like, oh, yeah. He doesn't listen to him anyway.
110% all the way.
You're overloading the nuclear... Imagine it just went... And they're like,
He's dead.
President?
And then credits roll. And end of movie.
Yeah, and it's Uncle Ben.
But yeah, the way he's driving it's like really weird, like leaning forward.
Because I thought it was going to be like a motorbike. Like if you've seen Cowboy Bebop on Netflix.
I haven't yet, no.
He's kind of got a spaceship that he sits in literally like a motorbike, but it's a plane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'll have to check it out sometime. Even though it has been cancelled, I believe.
Has, sadly.
Snake gets launched into the water. Special effects on the Shark 3 sub look like something out of the old animated show reboot. In other words, it doesn't look good.
The blue light looks good.
But not the effects of the actual pod.
No.
As Snake speeds through underwater, you can see buildings that got swallowed up by the earthquake. Snake loses control of the sub as he overpowers the controls. He goes through an underwater building, gets attacked by a shark, and flies past an underwater Universal Studios.
I mean, what if he wasn't going that fast and that shark just decided, I'm Jaws, I'm going to eat you?
Yeah, he'd be eaten. He'd be up.
Sorry, but...
It's funny you see the Universal Studios sign as the whole sequence feels like a bad theme park effect. Graphics look cheap and nasty.
Yeah, especially his 3D view that's just like 8-bit green squares like he's in a simulation.
Yeah.
He's like...
It feels like a theme park ride. Like we're all in those pods and we all have to control it like a video.
Yeah. But in reality, it just has its own course that it does by itself.
Yeah, exactly. You're on rails. Yeah. Snake manages to get control back, jumps the pod out of the water and onto a concrete slab balcony that is overlooking the coastline. So 90s. I love it. It's like lands near that. Bam. That's how you do it.
And then the next scene is literally just straight from Drake's Fortune.
The concrete balcony starts to give way. So Snake tries to hold on to a rail while also trying to hold on to a sub. Who do you think is Superman?
That's what I thought. He's like,
I'll hold the sub up while this is crumbles.
tears him in half, and that's the end of the movie. It's just half a snake hanging off a pole and half of him falling into the river, and then the surfer's looking at him like, damn, that was Snake, dude.
Yeah, it's like, what was he thinking? Surprisingly, a mere mortal cannot hold up about 2 tons of concrete and steel.
Or a nuclear-powered bloody... Just no.
The sub crashes over the cliff at the balcony while Snake hangs on to the remaining concrete that is still attached to the cliff. Like you say, it feels like Uncharted. But Uncharted did it better.
That whole train, oh, God, that's good.
Opening to number 2. Yeah, love that. And he's wounded as well.
Yeah, those games are insane.
Love them. Snake watches the sub sink below while a group of men ride in on surfboards. Snake is greeted by a man with a machine gun. Snake just walks past him and carries on. It's like, I don't care about you.
Hey, dude, this is my beach, man. You better get... And he just stares at him, smells something bad, leaves. And he's like, oh, okay.
He's the legendary actor Peter Fonda from Easy Rider.
Oh my God, it is too. Oh, I knew I recognised his voice.
It's like they've got Peter Fonda playing like a really...
A hippie man. That's so bad. And he's got a security jacket on too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's the lifeguard of the surf, bro.
But yeah, Snake meets an old surfer dude named Pipeline. Is his name? Pipeline. It starts to rain, apparently. Acid rain. He says that, like, get out of here. It's acid rain.
Puts up a cotton hood.
But then 5 seconds later, it cuts to Snake walking and there's no rain again.
Yeah, it's just stopped raining.
It's like, There was just one line of rain, and that's it. There's no more rain. And there's no payoff. Like, there's no acid rain later on or anything. It's just, that's it.
Yeah, it's like what's happened to LA that's made it rain acid.
And why does it only happen that 1 minute 5 seconds and nothing happens and there's no consequence and there's no payoff later on?
The morality is so low that the density in the air has turned to acid.
I mean, later on, if the helicopter is on fire, all of a sudden acid rain happens and it starts to melt the helicopter. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And it'd be a payoff.
But they never did anything.
The nothing is just like, be careful, it's acid rain. Right, cut to the next bit where there's no rain at all.
There should have been melted things everywhere.
Yeah, should have. It should be melted people. Yeah. Ah!
That would make more sense to why the Surgeon General had keep changing faces, because everyone's just walking around like, oh, God.
Yeah, because acid rain. Yeah, it makes it harder for them to find body parts too. Snake enters an old rundown Hollywood. You can see the Chinese theater. He is tracking his target. Snake finds the rescue team member he was tracking. His body is nailed up to a board, Christ-like, with a bunch of embedded knives in his chest. Snake asks the guy where he can find Cuervo Jones. Guy asks Snake if he looks like a tour guide. Do I look like a tour guide to you?
And ignores them.
Yeah. I guess he doesn't, as Snake walks away and moves on. He just ignores him,
He
yeah.
doesn't care. He's got a big Nazi swastika on his neck, thinking he's all awesome, and Snake just stares at him, and he's just like, that's nice, dear.
The amount of people he just walked away from halfway through a conversation is great. Snake asks the lady where he could find Cuervo Jones. She tells him that he can see him on the Sunset Boulevard. He is apparently coming by any time now. Lady points down an alley. The tour guide guy from before tries to throw a knife in Snake's back, but Snake just turns around and shoots him with a machine gun. Just mows him down.
And the guy doesn't die, and he's like, oh, it was filled with blanks. Imagine that was his first mag. Because he just would have got a knife in the chest. He would have turned around and just gone, brrr, then turned back around and got a knife.
When he tilts on the ground, you can hear Malloy going, sorry, those first ones are blanks. You may want to, oh, you're dead?
Yeah, on the microphone. Snake? Snake!
Continue? Restart checkpoint?
10.
Snake continues his search on Sunset Boulevard. Snake has 7 hours until he dies from a disease.
Yeah, that's why I don't get, like, he boosts through the tunnel when he's in the submarine. It takes him, like, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, perfect time. It's like, you almost died. Like,
Never mind.
wasn't worth 12, 15 minutes.
Cuervo goes past in a car, microphone in hand, talking about how they're going to party tonight. Because tomorrow, they're going to start their way back to glory.
Driving in a slow, about 10 kilometres per hour JFK type of convoy.
Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, nothing can go wrong at all.
Not in LA. Snake hijacks a motorcycle, headbutts a guy, and throws him into a bunch of stack cans. Like he's on the back of the bike, so, ha! Just headbutts him.
I love that one.
Yeah. Out of all the things to do, why not punch him? Why'd you have to headbutt him?
That just would have hurt you more. He's just dazed and confused, standing there, like, standing with the motorbike. Where am I?
Ugh, this crashes into the side of a thing. When Snake is riding a motorbike with his long leather coat, I was getting WWE Undertaker American Badass vibes. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Yeah, with his big, long jacket. Yeah, true. He needed a big hat on just with his head down.
Imagine JR, oh my god, it's Undertaker!
It's the Undertaker!
Suddenly, the others realize that Snake is on one of the bikes and start to chase him. Snake is about to shoot Cuervo when he is cut off by another guy on another bike. Cuervo knows who Snake Plissken is. He's like, oh my god, that guy looks like Snake Plissken.
Yeah, oh my god. But it can be.
Can't be Snake Plissken because he's somewhere else.
That was 15 years ago. He doesn't want to be here.
He's dead, isn't he? They never found a body, but he's surely dead because he's dead.
Bring me his head.
Snake does a wheelie between two bikes, which for some reason sends them skidding off their bikes.
That's what I thought. They're following him normal as, sweet as, shooting guns at him. They miss every shot, and then all of a sudden, that freaks them out. So they just, oh my god.
He could do a wheelie. Ah!
Watch out.
They just crash. They just lose focus. Yeah. Snake goes round a guy on the horse who is shooting him, leaps onto the back of a pickup truck, still on the bike, and looks back to shoot the guy on the horse. What?
Yeah, he does too.
Yep. Just uses the bike to sit on the back of a pickup truck.
He does too. First he sits there behind the guy on the horse and he just takes off around here.
Yeah. Somehow leaps onto it.
And they're going on like a 5-kilometre convoy, but he's just gone like 80 k's through it. And then just, yeah, how?
Does he have a ramp? I don't think he has a ramp.
He doesn't. It just jumps.
On the back of a truck.
Meanwhile, the horse is like, no, that's cool.
All right, whatever.
The one horse, ceremonial horse out of all of them. How did they get that in Los Angeles?
Snake then starts jumping from vehicle to vehicle, off his bike this time though. Cuervo then throws a rope weapon that gets tangled around Snake's neck, causing him to fall off a truck. Cuervo then orders his men to take Snake out. Snake is confronted by a few armed men. I'm going to give you guys a chance. What do you say we play a little Bangkok Rules? What? Bangkok Rules? This must be in Thailand, you know, where he's New Vegas?
Oh, it would be too, yeah. So that's where he must have been.
This must have been what he got arrested for, because they said about some gun crimes.
He spent all his money and he's just like, oh, well, I'll go away for something easy and make some money.
Yeah, the men back off while Snake crouches down and picks up an empty can. Nobody draws until this hits the ground. You ready? Snake throws the can up in the air, but as the men are distracted by the can, Snake guns them all down.
Immediately shoots them away. Don't play tricks with Snake.
Yeah. And they're all on the ground dead, and he's like, draw.
Yeah, draw. I love that. He just leaves. No, but then he's standing there.
Yeah.
Another bunch of guys pull up in their cars. He still stood there. Then they pull up, get out of their cars. Then he decides to leave. And they're like, we didn't even see where he went. Where's he gone? This guy's like, cool, leather jacket. Yeah, how did the leather jacket come off?
When? I don't know. It doesn't actually show you. He must have just taken it off, but then he's like, oh, he takes insult that the guy wears it. It's like, but you took it off. In LA, what's not yours is someone else's.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut to a coatless Snake walking down the street. Snake says how he needs more time as Cuervo has more guys around them than the president.
He's so big in this movie too. He's got such big arms and big chest. He's just like walking around like a tank in that singlet thing.
I love how Cuervo just looks like a cheap knockoff of Che Guevara. He's just a
Hey, oh my God, he does.
90s Che Guevara.
Eh, puto.
President Uncle Ben then tells Snake that the headache he is starting to feel will only get worse. Soon he will start a fever, and that he should just push through all that.
Yeah, the man flu, guys.
Yeah. You're going to get a headache, and then you're going to get a fever.
Yeah, and then you're going to cough a little.
After all this, cue random harmonica music. As he's walking, there's just some random harmonica music.
There's the weirdest music, and then there's also like the piano going, dun, just out of nowhere. Yeah. He's walking across a bridge going into just before Sunset Boulevard. Yeah. Just before that scene, he's just walking through it there, and the piano just goes, dun. And I was like, what's happening? And there's just broken cars everywhere. He's walking through a bridge, and I was like, nothing.
Okay, carry on.
Yep.
Snake sits down in a lawn chair while another earthquake aftershock occurs. So the earthquake aftershocks have happened a couple of times now already, like when he's talking to the pipeline guy, just before the acid rain. There's the aftershock. This happened again. Snake is then greeted by Steve Buscemi's character, who is called Map to the Stars Eddie. Eddie gives Snake the direction to Cuervo. He also tries to sell him a voice map, a pre-recorded map narrated by him. Like an early car GPS technology sort of thing, I guess.
It's quite cool, actually. I like the idea of it back then.
Yeah, it pays off later on.
True, actually. Yeah, it does too. Oh, yeah, it does too. It all comes back with it, yeah.
This is to show you that these exist in this world and they don't just randomly show up later on, which is kind of cool. But yeah, he's pretty annoying though, Eddie, isn't he?
Yeah, he is annoying. I thought Steve would have a way better thing. He just kind of plays the annoying...
weasel.
Yeah, he is kind of a weasel. He's kind of like... He's just played the same character in his Mr. Deeds.
Except his eyes are not so googly in this one.
Yeah, that's true. And he doesn't like pizza with Oreos or chips.
I love how the song I Love LA is playing in the background of Eddie's narration. I love LA. I love LA. Snake walks on by. Cut to Snake walking and hearing gunshots. Snake is hiding in the bushes, watching some goons pull up to a Beverly Hills building in ambulances. Snake is then told to keep quiet by Taslima.
And then she keeps talking, telling him to keep quiet or they're going to catch him. And he's just sat there like, shh.
See, I love Taslima because she's played by Valerie Galino. She was in the movies such as Rain Man and Big Top Pee-wee. But for me, I will always remember her for her role in Hot Shots and Hot Shots Part 2. She's the one that, the love interest that she gets so hot for Charlie Sheen that he starts cooking eggs and bacon on her belly.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, cracks an egg and starts cooking an egg on her belly because she's so hot.
Yeah. And you said Rain Man with Dustin
She's
Hoffman?
in Rain Man. Yeah, she's in Rain Man with Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman, apparently.
I'm going to have to watch that again.
And in Big Top Pee-wee, so I think it's the sequel to Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Which also Morpheus was in.
Was he?
He was a cowboy.
That's awesome. But Hot Shots and Hot Shots Part 2, I love her in that. Wow, those are some great legs you got there. Thank you, I just got them extended. Now they go all the way up.
That's right.
Snake leaves the bushes and is then greeted by a man looking like a Grim Reaper. He is then shot from the side by a man who has a net gun.
Okay, that's kind of creepy though, that bit. So it's almost like a Harry Potter Dementor. He's just like stood there.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Grim Reaper.
Did he have a face?
Not in that shot, I couldn't see one.
No, I was thinking if they were one of those people that get faces for the Surgeon General, maybe they're just...
I was waiting for him to go, Shia Baggins.
Nazgul flies above.
Anyway, so they trap him in this ridiculous net gun. Taslima is also grabbed by a Reaper-looking person. So she gets grabbed from the bushes.
So everything that they've literally just said just doesn't work.
No.
And then he decides to get out of the bush and just stare at the guy for about 10-15 seconds, and then he turns around and he's like,
Net gun. My one weakness.
yeah.
Snake is taken to somewhere off the grid. Seems to be some sort of makeshift operating room, because it's off the grid because the police can't track him anymore. They're like, oh my god, he's dead.
Yeah, it just disappears, doesn't it? Like they're in kind of some Faraday type of cage or like some electromagnetic type of...
Do the Reaper guys find a tracking device in him or something and disable it? Weird, they didn't say why he's off the grid. He's just off the grid.
Maybe the net somehow hit it at the exact point.
Just disabled it.
Because as soon as they shoot him, he's off grid.
Yeah.
And there's, oh, well, he's dead then.
Snake Plissken's not dead, he's just not around anymore. There is a woman in a nurse's outfit that looks like a cross between a Barbie doll and Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Yeah, that's terrifying me when you sent me that photo, and then I watched it and I was like, oh, and then I kept rewinding it to go back to look at all the other ones, and there's a woman who's like, with her face is like pulled up like that as well. I was like, oh, beautiful.
It's terrifying. I do want to close my eyes, Steven Tyler, and I do want to fall asleep, because I do want to miss a thing. Snake and Taslima are surrounded by surgical failures. Too many implants and facelifts over the years. Their muscles turn to jello. The only way to survive is have fresh body parts transplanted over and over again.
And would that be classed as immoral? Changing your face, changing something about you that's not normal?
It would be immoral, and also it's illegal to kill people for their body parts.
True, but I was thinking like the plastic surgery in the real world,
Yeah,
that would be classed as like a... Because, I mean, if you're not even allowed to eat red meat type of thing,
Yeah,
it would be a big...
unnatural.
Yeah, 100%.
The Surgeon General of Beverly Hills looks like a character out of the children's TV show Lazy Town. Because he's in heavy makeup, it is hard to tell that this character is actually played by the legendary Bruce Campbell.
Yep. That's kind of creepy.
He's
He
just-
nailed that, though.
It's just one scene too.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, it's just...
Again, that's it. It is too. That's the whole scene. He says about 10 words, 15 words of dialogue. Oh, he probably says about more than that. But he says about 20, 30 words of dialogue, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Shot in the forehead with a pin.
As the Surgeon General is inspecting people for body parts, Snake slips something into his mouth. You don't know what it is.
Which I thought was him like, oh, I'm going to die. Better put my cyanide pill in my mouth. I was thinking, oh, he's onto it.
If I doesn't need cyanide, he's going to die in a couple of hours, apparently, due to that man flu.
Wouldn't want to lose his pretty face, though. They take the snake off his chest and just glue it to the side of his face. Snake.
Snake spits out what was in his mouth. Seems to be some sort of blow dart that hits the Surgeon General square in the forehead.
But like, of all the things you're given one singular blow dart.
Yeah, and it goes straight in his forehead.
Yeah, straight in his forehead. I thought it killed him, but
I thought so too, but
he was
fair
just
enough.
kind of like...
So it must be like a tranquilizer. Snake and Taslima run away and into a nearby sewer manhole. They lose the chasing people in the sewers. Snake now only has 5 hours and 5 minutes left.
Yeah, they're all chasing him like psychos. He turns around, pulls about 10 rounds at them, and they're all just like, nope.
Let's go in the manhole under the sewers, because no one ever seems to go in the sewers in this thing. It's weird.
Yeah, they don't. And the manhole bends when he picks it up.
Yeah. Nice and rubber.
Love that.
Taslima conveniently knows the sewer system really well, as she used to run drugs and guns through them. Whenever people meet or realize he is actually Snake Plissken, they keep using the same joke. I thought you would be taller. That's what everyone says. I thought you would be taller.
Yeah, that's what's his name said at the start too. I thought you'd be taller, dude. Why? Surely you've seen him on the news and with people and standing and...
It's because heroes are supposed to be these high, iconic, huge giants of people. But he's not. He puts on his pants like everyone else, one leg at a time, and then he makes gold records. No.
And then there's Escape from the Jungle, and it's The Rock. It's just him smashing trees, taking trees out with his arms.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. Snake and Taslima exit the sewers. Taslima gives Snake directions to Cuervo and the president's daughter. Cut to Snake walking in a freeway full of messed up cars, like the apocalypse. Snake then runs into Tanslima again. She decided to go with him. It's weird how she's like, I'll leave you now. And then like mere seconds later, I wanted to team up with you again.
I'm actually going to follow you.
I was like, she must be a spy or something, eh?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
But then this awesome thing happens. Tanslima was put in LA because she's a Muslim. That's not the reason it's awesome, but Tanslima was put in LA because she's a Muslim. In the new USA, they made it a crime to be Muslim, a la Trump. Some serious Trump bells going off here. Tanslima says how LA is the only true free place left. And Snake goes, dark paradise. But this is the awesome part here coming up, sorry. Tanslima says, when you figure out this place, it really isn't so bad. Immediately after saying this line, she is shot in the back and killed. Whoops. It's like straight
You're
on.
dead. Yeah, it's not that bad. Well, I mean, I've been here for 2 hours now. The guy I was meant to meet's dead. I'm poisoned.
And you just got shot after saying that line.
And you're dead now after saying that it's not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it is that bad.
Yep, it's bad, and Snake now only has 4 hours and 10 minutes left. Snake is shot at by a bunch of kids with Uzis, because it's like the Korean district or something. It's a bunch of Korean kids with Uzis.
Yeah, just run around like... Just pulling the triggers. Just not aiming, literally just running like...
Was Tanslima shot with an Uzi? It seemed like it was a rifle.
Yeah, it was like a one shot.
Yeah, but yet they all had Uzis.
True.
Unless it's somehow Quavo, because he has a rifle later on.
Yeah, it's got quite a cool rifle actually. It's silver and black.
So maybe he's there, and he actually shoots Tanslima.
It could be two actually.
Maybe, I don't know. Never really
Yeah,
explained.
it doesn't actually, does it?
No. They get into a truck, black with flames painted on the front. Pretty sure GTA 3 had a similar vehicle. I was like, I saw that. I was like, that's GTA 3's vehicle.
Exact same van.
One of the gangs, yeah. Snake is running. When Map to the Stars, Eddie pulls up in a very clean and flash-looking convertible. But it did look very nice.
Yeah, it was.
And like a candy red, didn't it? Pretty sure.
It was Christine.
It's coming back. Snake gets in the car. They drive for a bit until Snake points his gun at Eddie and orders him to stop the car. Eddie stops and tells him how he was going to take him to Cuervo. As Snake turns to see where Eddie pointed to, Eddie hits a button on the horn that opens up the glove box and shoots Snake with a couple of darts. Eddie says how this is Cuervo's car and he lets Eddie use it. Cuts to Snake waking up after being hit with what Eddie calls the fun gun. You can hear Eddie talking to someone about how Snake was the second rescue team and how he was supposed to get the black box and the girl. Eddie is talking to Cuervo. Cuervo has a specialist talking about what the black box does. He's from NASA, apparently, the guy is. While Snake looks at his wrist device. 3 hours, 22 minutes left. Yeah, he's just some sort of expert that knows exactly how the device works.
Yeah, I know how to turn that into an electromagnetic something that does the things.
And I like how the police are like, they don't even know how to use it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
they definitely do.
A mini disc and a remote narration device that were combined together lets the user shut down anything electrical they want with pinpoint accuracy thanks to satellites. Basically, it will let the user pretty much control the world. President Uncle Ben believes that Snake is dead, and despite Malloy saying that Snake has been dead more times than he can remember, the president wants to go back to his initial plan of an airstrike. Target Los Angeles, flatten it, burn it.
Yeah, that was... He says something like, that's a direct order, like, we're just changing it, I'm over it, let's do it now. And it's just like, you're very sporadic, Donald. Uncle Ben.
And Malloy's like looking like, maybe not. I like how Malloy actually stands up to him a lot in this. Malloy says no to the president, and he's like, what? What'd you say to me?
That's what I mean. I reckon the government there must have almost like a higher up, because it is like he almost knew to kill the president's daughter before the president even knew. Or it's just very, it's very like, I'm not listening to you, president. You better buckle in because you're not going anywhere now. And he's like, oh God.
So Malloy's the undercover boss.
Well, that ponytail though, he's the only one with long hair.
He's got authority at the ponytail. Malloy says no to the president, what shocks Uncle Ben. Cuervo Jones is now holding all the cards. If he sees the aircraft come in and hits that button, kaboom. There goes the aircraft and the United States of America. President Uncle Ben says that they don't know if he even knows how to work the damn thing. But he does. Snake is left tied to a moving treadmill while Cuervo goes to send his video message about knowing about the device. During the video, Malloy and the president see Snake on the treadmill in the background. Hey look, there's Snake behind
There he
there.
is. Just looks like he's running the TV. Maybe that's how the power works.
It's like they don't know if he's a superhuman or not. So in the 80s, whenever they thought you might have powers, they put you on a treadmill.
Yeah, here you go.
Like Flash or Superman. Let's put him on a treadmill, see what he can do.
Even though he could have just jumped on the 2 black platforms on outside of the treadmill, but that's fine.
No, he just keeps going.
Yeah, he's like, ah.
Cuervo uses the device to shut off all systems in the capital city of Lynchburg. Cuervo then makes demands for a chopper no later than 5 a.m. Once airborne, he'll give his next orders. President Uncle Ben starts to freak. Malloy says not to count out Snake Plissken. No, never count out Snake Plissken.
He's not dead, even though he's dead.
He's on a treadmill, but he's captured. But it doesn't matter, he can get away.
But that means he's not dead. That's basically what Malloy says to him.
It's one step up than they thought he was. Yeah. Snake is escorted to the LA Coliseum. Snake watches a man get gunned down after some sort of basketball challenge that he failed. But then another man gets his head cut off by a large bladed bolt cutters.
That's what I thought. He's got like gardening shears.
What game was that guy playing?
Pop the turnip.
Because I thought after the basketball game of Snake, he was going to fight that guy with the shears.
That's what I thought too. I was like, hey, it's going to be a Spider-Man where he's running around the cage and this guy's just hacking at him with shears.
But no, he's just doing it. Yep. Snake is then put into the cage. Snake is really starting to show signs of being sick, with small fits of coughing.
Yeah, because I thought I was like, oh, they have actually given him something. Or I was thinking it could be the atmosphere there, like something could be different.
He was getting real sweaty, but maybe that was from the treadmill. Who knows?
Oh, there you go. That's why he was coughing, because he's just worked up the virus again by fast walking.
By fast walk, a brisk walk.
Yeah, brisk walk, and he's like.
This scene seems to be another copy and paste job of a scene from Escape from New York. In Escape from New York, he has like a wrestling match with the guy. This is like their version of that.
Oh, I remember that. He does too. It is basically the same thing, but in this one, he's just running up and down the court.
Snake has to do a basketball challenge. 10-second shot clock. Miss a shot, you get shot. Shot clock buzzer goes off before you shoot, you get shot. 2 points for a basket. No 3-point nonsense here. Ooh, Cuervo, you would not like to see the current NBA. Everything's the 3-point shots.
Yeah, that's it. All the 3 points.
Yeah, Steph Curry just got the record for most.
2-point shots. They could literally just stand there, count down. He'd stand there for 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Catch it again, turn around.
Yeah, if it'd been Steph Curry, he would have got it within moments.
That's because Kurt Russell's not as tall as he should be.
I thought he'd be taller.
Yeah, I thought he'd be taller. We set this up for you. Snake Plissken.
All you got to do is make points. That's it.
And no one's ever won the game before.
No, ever. Apparently, no one has walked off this court alive. There you go, just as you said, sir.
That's it.
Snake gets an easy layup, then a quick pull-up jumper for 2, followed by a long 2-shot, by golly. Then Snake nails the half-court shot. Steph Curry, eat your heart out.
It's funny because it goes from 7 seconds, and then 2 seconds later, they're like, 3, 2, and I'm like, you're missing 2 seconds.
Yep.
No.
You're screwing him over.
Yeah, because I sit here and count it in my head. Don't know why. But I'm like, that's not real.
This game's rigged. Snake then throws a near full-court heave to get the last basket in.
He nails it too. It's good.
Come on now. No one is that good.
He should have flicked his hair when he came out of it. Should have been like...
Yeah. Like, come on now. He's like an amazing basketballer.
As it goes in, it goes, Snake. Yeah, you hear it go, Snake.
Snake. Yeah, everyone's cheering for him because, it's a heck of a shot. The crowd cheer for Snake. Even though Snake won, he still was left locked in the cage. The president's daughter says how Snake won, so he can't kill him.
He like walks up to the cage, rattles the cage, and the guy just kind of backs away out of view of the camera like, nah, I'm not opening this. He's going to shoot me.
Cuervo says that he has to. Cuervo starts to line up a shot with the rifle on Snake, who is now climbing the cage.
And then you start to see what's Utopia's empathy, I guess,
Yeah.
which is probably why her father wanted her dead, because, no, you're too caring, Melania.
Cuervo misses Snake, who gets over the fence. Utopia tries to stop Cuervo, so he just pushes her out of the way. Another aftershock happens, causing Snake to get away from Cuervo's shot. Yeah, very convenient.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe the president's just sitting there going, earthquake.
And they never explain why they keep having aftershocks.
That's what I thought, 12:59 on the 23rd of August, and then it's like, president of the world. And it's like, well, he obviously did it. But then it's like, why would it still be, maybe they screwed something.
I thought at the end of the movie, when he was taken off in the helicopter, like the earthquake would cause that lady to crumble and go underneath the water.
And disappear, yeah, that's what I was kind of expecting when they flew over the mountain, but no.
Maybe the dinosaurs were going to be left on there, and so when it's leaving, you see the Brachiosaurus go...
And then there's a pterodactyl beside them, and Kurt's just like, They find a way.
Life has found a way. Da, 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 da.
And then the background's just a silhouette shot of Ian Malcolm on his side as the horizon.
Snake attacks Cuervo and takes the black box from him. He then escapes through a manhole to the sewer.
That was so easily handled. That's what he could have done with the bikes at the start. He could have actually driven the bike past the convoy.
And no one but Eddie and Utopia see him go through the manhole. Like, all these people with guns don't see him just climb down a manhole.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what?
Lights the thing on the car. They're all like, oh my god, the car blew up. There's no bad guys, but they all turn around and start shooting at this blown up car.
Yeah. Utopia follows Snake down into the sewers. Snake has the chance to shoot Utopia like he was ordered to by Malloy, but instead tells her to get out of here. Utopia says how Snake can't take the black box back to President Uncle Ben. He will use it to control everything, just like Cuervo. Eddie sneaks into the sewers and points a gun at Snake. Another aftershock means that Eddie hits Snake in the leg.
He's lucky.
Yeah, could have killed him. Snake falls down a pipe while Eddie grabs the black box. Eddie and Utopia flee with the black box while the sewers start to cave in. So everything just crashes down. Like, okay, so the aftershocks are getting more forceful, but what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing happens, right?
No, yeah, literally. No more earthquakes.
That's it. I always thought that maybe like the president was causing them, but no.
Yeah, he's just sitting in the office like, where's Snake?
He's dead, goddammit!
It's all over. He's just like packing a sad before it's even like ended.
The last shake causes damage which can be felt at police headquarters. Malloy finds the president hiding under a table like a coward. Eddie and Utopia meet back up with Cuervo on the surface. Eddie tells Cuervo that Snake is dead. Some really goofy music starts to play as Snake starts water sliding out of a pipe. What on earth is going on here? So it goes from a real tense scene to I'm hanging out.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is fine.
Snake meets back up with Pipeline again. Remember Pipeline from before? The surfer dude? He's back. And he's still Peter Fonda.
With his awesome little Volkswagen looking...
It's all Doom Buggy in it.
Yeah, Dune Buggy looking thing. It's the same Dune Buggy that's in Grand Theft Auto 3 and San Andreas.
I love those little vehicles.
And they're always yellow.
And he's randomly just there with a surfboard. How does he know this is coming? He doesn't. There's no explanation as to how he knows a big wave is about to come.
Yeah, not at all.
Like before he could have gone, oh man, I used to be a scientist and I know that there's huge tidal waves on its way because all these aftershocks mean there's going to be a huge tidal wave. But no, nothing.
Yeah, so I better get into this ravine.
Just, hello again. I'm just randomly in a pipe because I know a tsunami's about to hit.
Yeah, but this time I'm going to park my only car here with 5 different surfboards on the top of it. But you can have one.
You can have one, yeah.
I'll teach you how to surf.
I was here in case anyone else showed up, and then we can all surf together.
The way the car gets taken by the wave makes me sick.
It looks so bad, eh?
It's like when Jaws and Jaws 2 is going up to the glass window. Yeah. And you can literally see the paper cut out. It's like when you see the Death Star in the original New Hope and you see not the Death Star, you see a Star Destroyer coming past. Yeah. You see the square paper and you see the stars on the square paper moving through the other stars.
Well, that was 77. At least they had an excuse. This is 1996.
Yeah, they got no excuse whatsoever.
Snake asks Pipeline where the Happy Kingdom is. Pipeline says it is in Anaheim. Guess they couldn't use Disneyland. Pipeline is waiting for a big wave, which he expects to arrive soon. Pipeline says that Snake should talk to Hershey. Her and Cuervo used to be partners, but they split. And now Hershey hates Cuervo. The big tsunami wave arrives, so Pipeline gives Snake a surfboard.
Like, how much debris would that thing be kept? Like,
I don't know. So much. So much debris. The animation of the wave hitting Pipeline's Doom Buggy looks pretty bad up on here. You talked about it before. And here we have it. The ultimate escape from LA moment. Snake and Pipeline ride monster waves on surfboards down the streets of LA. And as they're surfing, like high-fiving and yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, but you can see the guy who's actually on the surfboard at the time has a complete head wrap around his face. And there's only that much of his head.
And then they cut to like Kurt Russell and it's just the blue screen. And he's like, It looked like,
this is me.
It reminded me of the 60s Batman when he's surfing.
And he's just literally standing in one spot going like this, basically. Yeah. Or when they're on horses in old films.
And then you see Eddie driving a car next to them. I was like, really?
Eddie didn't hear or see the tsunami at all.
No. And there's that Hang 10 music too.
Oh my God.
Why?
This movie's gold.
Eddie sees Snake and Pipeline surfing from his car. The blue screen effects of Snake surfing, my word, they look shocking, I put here. The surfer style music as well just adds to this absolutely ludicrous scene. Snake slaps pipeline some skin.
He actually does. He's like, this is me, bro.
Yeah. And then he diverts off and jumps onto the back of Eddie's car. Snake takes control of the car, then makes Eddie tell him how to get to Hershey. Snake now has 1 hour until neural shutdown. Cut to Snake and Eddie arriving at the ship, the Queen Mary, which is in the middle of an old LA dock. Doesn't seem to be any water around the ship, so it's just dry docked. They head into the old rusted ship.
It's quite cool, though.
It does look actually quite cool. I like this, the scale of it. Look quite cool.
It would be cool to imagine living in that.
A lot of rust though. You should probably get tetanus.
Yeah. Acid rain.
It keeps you from the acid rain. The 2 seconds of acid rain that happens once.
And the one tsunami after 4 or 5 aftershocks a day.
Eddie introduces Snake to Hershey. Eddie gets to her really easily. You'd think it'd be harder being that he works for now bitter rival Cuervo. But doesn't. He's like, oh yeah, it's me again.
He doesn't care at all. He's just like, oh my god, it's Snake, yeah.
Let's just come in. I'll introduce you because apparently I'm playing both sides. But
yeah, I won't pick any sides. I'm just playing Steve Buscemi as the star, map to Hollywood.
yeah, we haven't got time to like have this whole sneak into the Queen Mary thing. Let's just have it that Eddie can get in anyway for no reason.
Yeah.
Hershey is played by Jackie Brown herself, Pam Grier. Snake knows that voice though. Turns out that Hershey used to be known as Carjack Malone. Yep. Hershey is a transvestite, a person who dresses up as the opposite sex. Not transgender, I believe, as Hershey still has certain male parts.
Yep, as he shows, Snake shows us.
He goes and grabs straight away, like, you're dressing like a girl. Let's see what you have down there.
Good to see you still keep a peace. That's what he says, and it's like, okay. Everyone's standing there like,
oh. They give Hershey a weird modulated voice. Just sounds like they electronically lowered the tone in their voice. Kind of like Kevin's Talkboy recorder can do in Home Alone 2 Lost in New York.
yeah, it reminded me of how they do Ramsey in 300. The voice. They kind of put that real, like...
It just seems like an electronically altered voice, though. It's almost robotic.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that at all, actually.
No, it's just weird. Maybe they should have done a Home Alone Lost in LA as well.
And he's just in the Coliseum taking people's faces.
Snake Plissken! Carjack betrayed Snake in Cleveland. Snake needs Hershey and their team to help them get the girl and Black Box from Cuervo. Snake promises that they can all escape. Although, by the way he says it, you know he's lying. He kind of like goes, yeah, we can all escape.
Yeah. Or he just doesn't care. Just doesn't have the effort. He's like, effort.
Then there's a random cut to the Hollywood sign, all busted and broken with fire behind it. Would look really cool if they'd done it practically, rather than use 90s CGI. But there's no meaning for it, because they cut back to the Queen Mary after this.
That's what I think, yeah. They just zoom out and it's like...
I thought, they're gonna glide off the Hollywood sign. But no.
Yeah, because he says something before that. He says something like, they lit it on fire, they did something. And then it's like zoomed out on the Hollywood sign on fire, and I'm like, what have they done?
But yeah, and then it cuts back to the Queen Mary, where Hershey, Snake, and the crew are preparing on one of the outside corridors.
Oh my god, that's like Da Vinci's flying machine.
Good to see that the chocolate bar eating guy from Die Hard is in this crew. The guy eats like the chocolate bar while he's waiting for the people to come to the...
He is too.
Yeah, he's also... he's a stunt coordinator, actually, the guy is. He's a stunt coordinator who gets a fair bit of Hollywood roles.
Oh, so that'll be why. That's cool.
He also plays Genghis Khan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which me and Rach recently covered. He pops up in quite a few 80s films. Eddie puts a little bit of red nail polish on the disc in his voice narration device. He says how they can use this disc to switch on Cuervo. Sure, Eddie, we all believe and trust you. But yeah, the nail polish. Another payoff later on.
100%.
Hershey, Snake, and the crew use hang gliders to glide above LA as they need to get to Cuervo within the hour. Effects look very 90s.
Very 90s.
Cut to Cuervo arriving at the Happy Kingdom, aka not Disneyland, in Anaheim.
Yeah, the Happy Kingdom.
We all know what you're talking about.
Bunch of 3 buildings and a courtyard.
Yeah. Those are the days, weren't they? He is riding a car with a disco ball attached to the back. Someone must have pimped his ride. A crowd of people have gathered there to welcome Cuervo. The government helicopter is arriving at Cuervo's location. Futuristic-looking helicopters look pretty funny in 80s and 90s films. Usually have these hard, sharp edges to them with all these unique angles to the windows.
Yeah, literally, I don't understand why they do that. It's bulletproof. And the way that the blades extend out from like the back of it, it's like impractical completely.
Looks like Blue Thunder.
Oh my god, it does too. Oh my god, it does too. They've literally just... When did that come out?
In the 70s.
Yep. That looked better than this did. Oh my god, it did.
The crowd mobs the helicopter and yanks the pilots out. Cut to President Uncle Ben asking if anyone can see Pliskin anywhere. The president wants to flee in a helicopter, but Malloy says how he needs to stay and face them down.
What did the pilots in that helicopter think when they landed?
We're getting taken out. It's like, close the damn windows.
Yeah, they're like, hang on a minute, aren't we just picking people up? No.
Can't they close the windows because they're bulletproof?
That's what I thought. Just lock the door.
Those guys are weird and deserve to die. Miami Coast Guards have reported that a fleet of ships have departed Cuba, and will be in the Florida coast in 45 minutes. They're starting the invasion. President Uncle Ben goes to his quarters to pray. Malloy tells one of his team members to go with him to make sure he doesn't do anything crazy. Meanwhile, Snake is gliding through the air. The look on Snake's face reminds me of a shot of Nuclear Man in Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. He just looks really impressed. It looks like he's flying, like the Christopher Reeve film. Nuclear Man had the long nails that he scratched Christopher Reeve with.
Yeah. Oh, damn, that's old. I haven't seen that in ages.
Oh, it's classically bad. It's also on the worst list.
Oh,
We'll get to later on. Snake has 20 minutes left until the poison kills him.
He's run so far. He's done so much, and I'm pretty sure all that data would have been on a resting heart rate.
And now he's about to die in 20 minutes. Eddie says to Snake that they need a distraction. Cut to Eddie awkwardly gliding and landing by Cuervo. Did I say landing? I mean crashing into a building. Cuervo tells his men to kill Eddie, but Eddie tells him that he has news about an attack. Eddie says it's Pliskin. Cuervo grabs Eddie and threatens him to tell him where Pliskin is. Eddie tells Cuervo's men to look behind them. They turn around and shoot. Cuervo is distracted by this too, which gives Eddie the time to grab the black box and switch out the mini CDs. Cuervo catches Eddie with the device, grabs it back off him and says that he has lied to him for the very last time. Cuervo goes to shoot Eddie in the head when there is a big explosion. Then Snake, still hang gliding, starts shooting an Uzi at the crowd. How they all miss Snake is beyond me, because he's just like slowly gliding, but none of them actually hit him.
Yeah, none of them. They don't hit any of them. There's no holes anywhere. There's people throwing grenades off their little... Yeah, it's madness, really.
The rest of Hershey's crew join in. Some even start dropping bombs. The gliders look like something the Lost Boys would use in Steven Spielberg's movie Hook.
Yep, would. Yeah, that's perfect.
Snake lands his glider and starts fighting with Cuervo. This is actually a good old-fashioned and down and dirty slugfest, which I actually quite like.
It is a good fight.
It is. I also like how a bit of Escape from LA theme kicks in here. Like, as he's fighting, it starts going Escape from LA's theme. Cuervo even bites Snake on the wound on his leg. It's like, ah!
Oh, he does too. Yeah.
It'd be cool if he had, like, blood around his mouth, but he doesn't do that.
Spits out a bullet.
Oh, he just saved his life. How nice. Cuervo then pulls out a large combat knife. Snake disarms him by breaking his wrist in several places. You can hear multiple cracking.
Yeah, you can, but he just like keeps... Yeah, he does his arm the other way and then does his other hand. It's just like, oh, why are they cracking? But he's still throwing punches at you.
No effects. He doesn't sell those broken wrists at all. Because he picks up a rocket launcher later on with no problem.
He does too.
Yeah, even though he's got multiple broken wrists.
Props it up fine. Still gets a bullet in the chest and he still laughs. He laughs.
Then an explosion knocks them both down. Snake sees the device on the ground and crawls towards it. Cuervo also sees the device and does the same. A classic action movie trope, going towards the device. So who's going to get there first? Find out. Snake grabs the device, then gives Cuervo a big knee to the face that knocks him out. I'm like, oh, brutal. Like it.
That is a good one. He does be a big, like, hero punches at him. He's just like, oh, you son of a...
It's like in the PS4 or PS5 Spider-Man game. There's the one where he, like, grabs you, webs you, and pulls you in. And as he pulls you in, he knees you in the face. I'm like, oh, it's simple yet effective.
Yeah, that would absolutely destroy you.
It would destroy your face. Snake tells everyone to get inside the chopper as it's bulletproof. Because, of course it is. Snake finds the guy who took his coat dead on the ground and takes the coat back. Snake, Eddie, and Utopia are in the helicopter. Snake is preparing to take off, while a goon outside ties a rope to the tail of the chopper. Snake asks for the disc from Eddie. Eddie claims that he didn't make the switch, but Utopia says that he did, as she saw him do it.
He's such a little crapper. So we can't trust you, Steve.
He's got no redeeming factors.
Eddie Spaghetti.
Snake takes the disc from Eddie. Cuervo gets back up and starts maniacally shooting an assault rifle at the helicopter. The chopper takes off but is stopped as the rope tied to the tail is also tied to a car. Carjack manages to shoot the rope with an assault rifle with pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah, within seconds as the helicopter's probably doing this as well. Like
just pinpoint accuracy. The helicopter takes off. Cuervo grabs a rocket launcher and prepares to shoot the helicopter, but then Eddie sees Cuervo and with an assault rifle from a moving helicopter shoots Cuervo in the chest with pinpoint precision.
Once.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Just once. And then goes, haha, done.
Cuervo, though, is preparing to fire the rocket launcher because this is a 90s action film and Cuervo Jones is not going to let a chest wound stop him.
Exactly.
Cuervo fires a rocket at the helicopter. Eddie jumps out and crashes to the ground below. A fire starts to burn from the tail of the helicopter. The blue screen shot of Snake and the crew reacting to the fire behind them looks pretty funny. Eddie is uninjured from jumping out of the helicopter, since again, this is a 90s film. But he leaped from quite a few
50, 60 feet.
Yeah, no problem.
Just rolls onto the ground, sweet as. And he's like, ah.
And somehow, I guess this is where Hershey and stuff die, but you don't actually see them die.
Did they just melt up?
I don't know. I thought they were in the helicopter until they weren't. At the end, I was like,
Yeah, because I thought they were in the helicopter, and then what did the fires just...
they're gone. That's just they're gone.
Because they're when the flames are coming through in front of them, and I was like, yeah, no, they're just molten on the back seat.
There's no death scene for Hershey. Just she's gone. She's not even mentioned. Snake flies the burning helicopter back towards the police outpost. Snake says, Malloy, get the antidote ready. I'm coming in. This is Malloy, Pliskin. Do you have the black box? I got what's in it. Remote control unit, instruction disc. Get the trucks rolling. We're on fire. Snake has 2 minutes and 27 seconds until neural system shutdown. The police send trucks out on the north perimeter. Snake tells Utopia to get ready to jump, then head for the tree line and disappear. Snake then slips a remote device into her pocket as she gets ready to jump. Utopia jumps out of the plane and rolls along the ground. Snake prepares to abandon the helicopter. I guess Hershey and the rest of the crew died in the missile attack. So but here it's all right, they're gone. No mention, but they're gone.
3 of them, one of them was hanging off the back, one of them's on the back, then one gets shot out, and then there's still 2 of them in there, and then they're not.
No, because they don't jump out when Eddie does. They're just not there anymore.
Yeah, they're just combusted.
Then it cuts to the helicopter crashing. Did Snake Plissken get out on time? Find out next time. The police arrive at the site of the helicopter wreckage. Snake limps away from the wreckage. From the wreckage. So he did survive. President Uncle Ben and Malloy confront Snake. Thank God Almighty. Thank God Almighty. Give me the snake. Give me the snake. Give me the goddamn shot.
Give me your snake.
I want yours.
Kurt Russell.
Snake wrist device counts down to 0 and an electronic voice says, your time is up. Not John Cena though, because his time is now. You can't see him, his time is now.
His time is up, his time is down.
President Uncle Ben laughs. I told you he was dumb. You took the fake, hotshot. Plutoxin 7 is a fast, hard-hitting case of the flu. And that's all it is. Yep. It ain't deadly at all. President says, relax, war hero. We took you for a little ride, and you came through. Now give me that unit. Snake grabs a remote device off his leg carrying strap. You want this thing? Come and get it. President Uncle Ben is about to go and grab the device of Snake when some police officers bring over Utopia, who has been captured.
He's just like, oh, why did I bother?
Yeah, god damn it. And then President goes, you didn't finish the mission, Snake. Looks like I'll have to do it for you.
And she just looks at him like, wait, what?
Malloy then gets suspicious for some weird, out-of-the-blue reason and searches Utopia and finds the remote device that Snake planted on her. Yes, I know he had that set up before where he's like, I knew I can think like you because I put blanks in the gun.
Yeah, but there's no way.
There's no reason he's like, no, actually he would have given her the one, so he'll have 2 devices.
He goes, and then just waltzes over like he's just been subliminally told where it is.
Yeah, it's like Snake said it, yeah. Malloy opens it, and the disc has a red dot on it, showing the audience that we all know that this isn't the real disc. Malloy goes, we'll take this one. So Snake's plan was to expect Utopia to be caught and hope they find a device on her, then believe that this is the real device instead of taking the right device off Snake. Ah, the 90s.
I told you he was stupid. Is that right, Ben?
Malloy gives the president the device, and the president says, get her out of here. Take her to the chair.
Yeah, that's insane. Just execute my daughter. I've had quite enough now. We have the box.
Don't care. Kill her. The officers take Utopia away. The president says, "For he so loved his country, he gave his only seditious child. Prepare to broadcast worldwide." Malloy talks to Snake. "She didn't know that she had the remote unit in her pocket now, did she? I was wondering what kind of lame switch you would try to pull this time, Pliskin. You know, you're becoming very predictable." "Yeah, I guess so. You gotta smoke?" "The United States is a non-smoking nation. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs, no woman, unless, of course, you're married. No foul language, no red meat."
Yeah, that's the no red meat. I was just like, yeah, you're backwards.
I was like, why would you want to live in the United States? No red meat? I'm out of here. I'm going to go get myself a cheeseburger.
You can eat fish.
Just fish.
Yeah, you may have the white meat of fish. This is all. No chicken.
I like how Snake goes, "Land of the free."
Yeah, I love that. Land of the free.
The president is standing at his quickly made podium setup. Like, they got on there real quick.
Yeah,
Like,
they did. It was like 25 seconds.
yeah. Like, almost like a pit crew in a racing car.
Go, 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 go.
All right, move.
Oh, nice. 4.35. No.
The president addresses the world on camera while his daughter gets ready to be killed via electric chair. But they put a TV in front of her so she can watch her dad's speech. Yeah, sure, whatever. "This is the President of the United States. I now demand an immediate retreat of all forces threatening this great nation. If my demand is not met immediately, I will destroy your ability to function permanently." A police member says that the computer theater of aggression remains mobile. ETA Miami in 4 minutes. President goes, 4 minutes? Bring the aiming coordinates for Cuba and Mexico online. The president puts the coordinates for Cuba, 779, into the remote device. "I now render this final solution." Yeah, so he wasn't Nazi enough. He had to say final solution. Like, let's just make sure everyone knows he's a Nazi.
Yeah, literally final solution. So, okay, sweet.
Yep.
We know where this goes from here.
He's evil. That just kind of guarantees it. The president activates the remote device. Eddie's voice comes up, welcoming you to your very own map to the stars. The president looks at Snake. "Very funny. Yeah. I hope it was worth it. For now, you are going to die. Everybody dies. Kill him and bring me the real unit." The policewoman from before tells the president that they are still broadcasting. His response is, "Good. Let him watch." The cameraman turns to Snake. Malloy looks hesitant to do this on live TV, but tells the police officers, "On my command, fire!" The police officers fire their assault rifles at Snake, but they are ineffective towards them, because Snake Plissken has finally evolved into Superman.
Is it a bird?
Dun, 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 dun.
Is it a plane?
It's
Superman.
No jokes. Turns out that Snake is just a hologram. But, you know, like before when there were holograms in the room next door, he's done it to them. But what is the hologram device? I don't even know. Maybe they pointed it out, but I'm not sure if there's like a little disc or something. I don't know.
It was like a wee eye thing.
Ah.
But it didn't... Yeah, I don't understand how he has it pointing at him and then it's all over there.
Yeah.
Broadcasting at them.
And no one can figure out that it's actually a
Because at the
hologram.
start of it, he looks up at the roof and there's a camera pointing down, which is where they would have been coming from. But then there was one behind him. Yeah, it was weird.
Very strange. Malloy orders a half-mile radius search for Snake, but Snake holds up the remote device and threatens to activate it. What's it to be, Pliskin? Us or them? Shut down a third world. They lose. You win. Shut down America. You lose. They win. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Some things change, some stay the same. President goes, so what are you going to do? Disappear. Snake presses 666, of course, into the device.
Because Satanism and Nazis...
If God is evil, then the devil is good. Presses 666 into the device. He's entered the world code.
the world code.
Why would you make it all the same number as the code? Like, it's like saying, oh, I'm just going to make the password to every internet thing be 123.
Yeah, literally.
Yep, let's do it.
And then his daughter picks it up as a kid and goes 666 enter and just destroys the world.
Yeah.
Peter.
It's like in Spaceballs when they find out the passcode is 123456 and they go, 123456, that's this combination idiot would have in his luggage. And then all of a sudden, the boss comes in going, "What's the code?" And he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He goes, "Oh, that's weird. That's the combination to my luggage."
Oh my god.
Classic. Right. So Snake says, "I told you better hope I didn't make it back." Malloy goes, "You push that button. Everything we have accomplished for the past 500 years, we finished. Our technology, our way of life, our entire history. We'll have to start all over again. For God's sakes, don't do it, Snake. The name's Pliskin."
He nailed that though.
Yeah, he's the best. He's having fun doing this movie, isn't he? He's actually one of the writers of this movie too, Kurt Russell.
Oh, was he?
He did. He co-wrote the script. Snake activates the device, which signals the 90s effects satellites that kill all power and technology across the entire world. Utopia is sitting in an electric chair with no power. Haha, psych! Snake leaves the device behind and limps away. He has his coat back on, so I guess he grabbed that before jumping off the helicopter? Yeah, okay, cool. Snake finds a single cigarette in a cigarette box. The smokes are called American Spirit. Snake then lights up that bad boy with a match, then looks at the burning match. He then turns and looks directly into the camera and blows the match out, breaking the fourth wall. And he goes, "Welcome to the human race."
Yeah, I liked that. Welcome to the human race. It's like, whoa. If any aliens see that movie, well done, America. Nazis and Satanism numbers and killing your daughter for no good reason.
Moral crimes.
Yeah, a Spanish Puerto Rican antagonist is one of the main guys that they hate because he's obviously Mexican because of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Just basically that's how they've almost portrayed it.
And then end of movie. Right, so that was Escape from LA, Matt. Shall we go to our ratings?
Definitely.
Let's rate the crap out of this.
Nobody does it, Bennett.
Right, so now we've done our ratings for Escape from LA, Matt. Now let's go through our ratings. So for 1, how entertaining is the film? What have you given it out of 5 stars?
I've given it a 3.
3 out of 5?
Yeah. To me, it's still entertaining. It's still an entertaining film. But then again, if I'd pre-watched the first one first, I probably wouldn't be giving it a 3 now. I'd probably be giving it a lower, maybe a 1, just based on it. If you, as you said, being the same movie, just more or so from it.
Well, you're kind of right, because I haven't given it a 3. I've watched Escape from New York, obviously, directly before it, and I've given it a 4 out of 5. I think this movie is incredibly entertaining. I love watching it. It's bombastic, it's silly, and the special effects aren't great. But my God, is this film entertaining. Like surfing down the street. What is going on? But I love it.
Acid rain for 15 seconds.
Yeah, but I love it. It's just a film where it sounds like, you want to watch Escape from LA? I'm like, absolutely. For question 2, how intentional is the quality? I've actually given it 3 out of 5 because I think it's very tongue-in-cheek. A lot of it's actually like, we're winking at the camera and we know that this isn't exactly what you expect, but they've kind of gone with it. It's not
like a shark attack.
Yeah, it's not a complete parody of Escape from New York, but there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek moments that I think are deliberate. So I've given it 3 out of 5.
I've given it a 2.
2, yeah.
Just based on, it felt like that Jaws bit at the start was like an intentional kind of a, oh, look what we did. And I was like, really?
They jumped the
Had
shark.
to have a shark attack in there and then Universal Studios. And it's like, oh, of course.
For question 3, how much does it affect the franchise? What have you given it? So question 3, how much does it affect the franchise? Matt, what have you given it?
I've given it a 2.
Give it 2 out of 5?
There's not much to go from there.
I've given it 1 because I think it kills it, and it's like there's no chance of a sequel after this.
What would you make? You just, like they had 15 years to think about a new movie and they made this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, what would you do in 30 years?
I think John Carpenter's like, yeah, I'm out. I've done enough. 2's enough.
Yeah, and in 30 years, it's just an 8-bit building block.
Quality of casting, I've given it 4 out of 5. I think Kurt Russell's perfectly cast, obviously, as Snake Plissken. I think Bruce Campbell's great in this. Yes, Steve Buscemi's annoying, but he's still very good at being annoying.
Yeah, he is.
I thought Uncle Ben as the president was maniacally hilarious, and so was Stacey Keach as Malloy. Yeah. So I've given it 4 out of 5 because I think the casting's top notch.
Yeah, 100%.
What have you given it, sir?
I've given it a 3.
3?
I like how they've added so many different actors from so many different things that I've seen, even now, in the past, say, 10 years, and then gone and watched this from 1996 and gone, hey, I know you. And it's just like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben, like all sorts. And you can almost make up your own backstory to why he's there.
Just cross them over.
Yeah.
For question 5, would you watch it again? What have you given it, Matt?
4.
4?
Yeah, definitely. Holly would give it probably a 1. She kept looking at her phone.
No, I've given it a 4 out of 5 too. Because like I said before, it's so entertaining that if someone's like, want to watch it again, I'm like, heck yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, with the ratings here, Matt, so let's go through what we've done it. For how entertaining the film is, you've given it a 3, I've given it a 4. For how intentional the quality is, I've given it a 3, you've given it a 2. For how much it affects the franchise, you gave it a 2 and I gave it a 1. For quality of casting, I've given it a 4 and you've given it a 3. And would you watch it again? You gave it a 4 and I gave it a 4. So for me, it was a total of 16 out of 25 possible stars. And for you, it was 14 out of possible 25 stars. So out of 50 stars, Matt, this gets 30 out of 50.
That's actually not too bad.
It's pretty high. See on here, if we go to the rankings, it's actually on 30. So it's actually between X-Men Origins Wolverine and Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin.
So it's actually now 4th on the list.
Oh, that's not too bad at all.
4 out of 5. So it's obviously, the worse the movie is, the higher it is on the list. So to be on the bottom of the table was actually very good.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I still haven't seen that.
It's still number 1 on their list with 15.5 stars.
15.5.
This got 14.5 stars more than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yep.
But it didn't beat up Batman and Robin because I still love Batman and Robin.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
But here you go. So 30 out of 50 possible stars there, Matt, for Escape from LA, which is good. I think it's a film that if you haven't seen Escape from New York or Escape from LA, I do recommend watching Escape from New York first because you can see what the vision pretty much was. And then you watch Escape from LA and what the vision was when they decided they had more money than they probably should have had and went with it. And it was 90s all the way.
I've seen a lot worse movies come from 96.
Being other 96 movies I wouldn't watch again, that probably would be higher in quality. But this one was just fun.
You couldn't. Could you hire the quality in this without making it look completely trash? You could CGI everything,
Well, they tried to, but yeah.
backdrops and everything. You could do that now, but
Not then. Actually, when it comes to the worst, man, I always have a little section here, changes I would make to improve the film. So I've got a couple here. One of the changes I would make would be a more original story. Maybe Snake needs to break into a facility without the help of the government, for a change. Maybe we just see Snake out in the world without having to escape from another prison. Just a more original film.
You're having him be him because of the police, or have to do this because you're going to die.
Maybe the consequences of New York follow him outside of the thing. Just something more original, because this is just a cut and paste job of Escape from New York and then added in extra cheese, like a lot more cheese.
Like, there is context there, but as soon as the context comes, it's gone. And you're going, why is the acid rain? And then as soon as you're thinking back to the acid rain, it's gone.
Well, it's like the definition pretty much of a bad sequel is when they take the same movie again, copy it, and just raise the stakes. And this movie does.
Yeah, that's literally what they did.
So a more original story, I think, would help. The other thing that would make this film better is less CGI. The mid-90s were not ready for full-blown CGI shots, so they should have done things more practically.
See, if they were going to make it now, they'd have to make it more Mad Max style, I feel.
Just, yeah, a lot of the shots just, no. What they were trying to do, no. They should have realised they couldn't pull off. Jurassic Park, yes, was amazing in 93, but they knew what they were doing. That's why they didn't.
Did you notice, his watch thing that he had on?
Yeah.
You know, it had that little bit down the side? Do you know that's off the inside tray of an ashtray in an old car?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a look at it last night. I went on Google and found that. I was just like, oh my God, they make them
Really?
as actual watches?
Someone's actually made it?
That's cool. It's called Escape from New York. Sorry, just found that. That was funny.
There you go. So that's just gave you New York, so it's not the LA one, though, because the other one's different. Huh?
Yeah, I know it is different.
It's the one based on the better movie. If you like what you hear and would like to send us your thoughts, why not contact us? You can by visiting our Nobody Does It Bennett Facebook page, or by hitting us up on the Twitter at NobodyDIBennett. You can also email us at nobodydoesitbennett@outlook.com. That's nobodydoesitbennett@outlook.com. That's a Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's. Nobody Does It Bennett is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and other podcast networks. Thank you, Matt, for joining me for this podcast.
It's Snake. No, that's no problem at all. Thanks for having me.
What a blast this movie was. And thank you for listening. Remember, some others may do it better, but nobody does it, Bennett. Take care. It's the end of the show.
Now it's time to go. It's the end of the show. And now it's time to go. Don't be sad, just be glad. Then nobody does it, Bennett.